and slapping. And sucking, but a nigga like the D and chips. If you don't know me by now, KK nigga, all right now, we guys are down my nigga. Bagging on bitches, nigga, here we go. Passing the asses and play us that intro. I'm taking a hit and I call.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for tuning into my talk show, Down to Earth with Day King. Tonight we have a special guest with us, a well-known West Coast classic group by the name of Second to None. So welcome with me, Second to None, to the show. What's happening to you, bro? What's happening with it? KK. KK, easy. What's happening?
Man, chilling.
How y'all been, man? How y'all been?
We blessed, man.
Okay. Well, I heard a lot of things going on. You guys got a lot of things happening right now. That's what we're here to talk about a little bit, you know. The past things, present things, and where you guys are going in the future. But recently, you guys just got off a European little tour, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Went out to the Europe, playing Paris. Went out there and, spreaded that Second to None shit. They've been waiting for it for 20-something years.
Right.
But finally went out there and touched them with it.
Right.
Looking forward to going back.
Oh, okay. So what cities was you in? Paris. Where else?
Paris, and Paris.
Paris, and Paris.
The urban part of the south side.
Yeah.
The Grenique,
Okay.
Alpha, Alpeach and them, Splifton.
Okay.
Little areas in Paris, not just the downtown, the major fashion areas. We went
the
real
deep
side.
into their motherfucking neighborhoods, deep in the hoods.
Yeah.
Barbecuing in the
They got
woods
some
out
shit
there.
out there. Cool.
Yeah. How'd you guys like the culture? Were you able to check out the culture at all?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same culture, you know what I mean? They trying to fight to stop being oppressed, So, they got ghettos, they got middle class, and they got rich folks. It's the same shit here.
Okay. Right. All right. Well, hey, so for those that newcomers to the scene and youngsters that's coming up that may not be hip, tell us a little bit about where you're from, the city you're from, and
Compton, California.
Yeah.
We started off in 1991 professionally, but we've been doing music since the 80s. Kay will break that shit down too.
Okay. All right.
Well, pretty much basically starting out in the 80s when real mixtapes, when they was actually cassettes, when it was, with the real cassette tapes.
Right.
Real mixtapes was out before CDs were even made. So that's when we was in the mix. Got signed professionally to a deal in 90, 91.
Mm-hmm.
First album, Second to None, self-titled. And pretty much after that, Above the Rim soundtrack, number 5, Didn't Mean to Turn You On.
Right.
After that, 1999, the second album released on Arista, Classic 220. That pretty much sums up the...
Okay, so I got a question. That brings me to one of my questions. When you guys first got signed, when that self-entitled album came out, Second to None, and when that hit, what was going through y'all's mind at that time? I mean, you were striving for a goal, and when you hit that goal, how did that make you feel,
I mean,
what was the emotion like?
I don't think we was necessarily striving, doing music was something to pass time,
Mm-hmm.
That was just something that God blessed us with, that talent.
Mm-hmm.
Either we was gonna do that or we'd be outside, on some gangster shit,
Right.
I mean, it was a blessing for us to get signed and get put on. It happened too fast.
Okay.
For us to really absorb it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about like me leaving school one day and the next week we up out of here going to New York,
Right, to do a show.
Go get signed.
Take care of
signed.
Yeah, go get that check.
Signed. Yeah.
Checks and take care of some businesses.
Yeah.
Hit Broadway and Ellis Island and all that, walking up around New York.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of what, I wanted to touch on, because I don't know, whether or not, the world has been able to hear that true story of the come up of Second to None. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm kind of touching on tonight,
Yeah.
You guys have definitely, had a major impact on West Coast music.
Thank you.
Well, no thanks. I mean, that's just what it is.
Thanks to the fans.
Yeah.
Appreciate the love.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that impact has lasted a long time. It's had a ripple effect. When you guys came on the scene, you guys was just hot. It was you. It was Quick. It was High C. It was AMG. You guys was dominating the West Coast rap scene at that time. I mean, and when I say dominating, I mean in a real way. You know, I mean, and when all that was happening, I mean, it just had to been a, you know, an exciting experience, and I'm just trying to see how you guys was feeling on that. You know what I mean?
For some people, they're striving for fame and glory, for money. At that time, for us, it's like I said, it was all about the music and making sure it was tight. So when it hit, the fame and the money part hit, it really didn't hit us because that was really what we wasn't really striving for. The fame part of it, that's why I guess it came like that, you know.
Yeah.
Because we were focused on making sure the music was tight, the rhymes was tight up.
Right.
It had substance to it. It made you can learn something from it where it makes sense.
Exactly.
Being at that time, from the 80s to the 90s, we supposed to be street reporters, not snitching, but telling what's really going on. So the rest of the world can catch a vision of what's going on in the urban communities out in California, from the Bay to LA, San Diego, Vegas, Seattle, Portland, Minnesota, St. Louis. Well, them my travels through the 80s. Baton Rouge, Texas, 10. Don't mess with Texas. Everybody know what I'm talking about. If you was real and took them travels in the 80s. So, you know, that's our expression through music and just telling the truth, which a lot of people don't do that. So that was just our way of doing it.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, I'm definitely glad you guys have been able to touch on that. Now, after the Above the Rim soundtrack, okay, when you guys hit that, you guys had that done. I believe you guys had you guys were about to drop another album called The Shit.
Yeah, that was actually going to be our second album.
That was supposed to be a follow-up to the first
album.
Debut. Okay. Can you talk about that a little bit?
I mean, that album right there, I mean, it actually wasn't, it was, I guess the internet put it together. You know, the people put it together there, so, you know, that was something that leaked. But, you know, that was some of what we,
somebody leaked it.
What, you know, which way we was going to go with the next album, you know.
Right.
And during that time, we was in contract dispute. You know, we was trying to get released from Profile. They was going bankrupt.
Right.
And they got bought by Arista. So we had to deal with a whole different conglomerate of energy. You know, they wasn't used to dealing with rap music, let alone street rap music, you know. And, you know, we had to come out with the classic 220. We couldn't give them the shit, you know, because it wouldn't fit their format.
Okay.
You know.
Well, I mean, as it's noted and documented right now, supposedly, I mean,
well, you know, they documented it that it was a Death Row record, like it was on Death Row.
That never happened.
And Suge Knight was that's what they said.
That's what they say. That's always they say.
We're telling you what we say.
And this is what I want to hear. Exactly.
No, it was never one of those albums.
No.
Okay.
We was putting this shit together. What happened at that time was Suge saw that we was over there stuck. On a label. He saw Quick that was stuck on a label. He tried to get us off of it. He couldn't help us. He tried to, but you know they wouldn't release us. So that was that. What he did, you know, we was able to put out Didn't Mean to Turn You On the Above the Rim soundtrack to still keep our, you know, relevance, you know, stay relevant. But
still reaching out to your fans.
The Shit album is something. There was songs that was like 25% of songs that we was about put together. You know, and that's just some of it. We still have a whole lot of other unreleased shit that we never put out. You know, so that's just like, you know, those were songs that was put, you know, that we was working on and you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know if anybody's ever heard about that, but that was definitely on my mind, and I had wondered, you know, what had happened to that. So there it is there. All right. Well, as far as, you know, what Second to None has now you guys have a new album, right?
Compton Music.
Compton Music. We don't have no major record label pushing it. You know, we pushing it ourselves. It's independent. Just like, you know, it's word of mouth. If you hear about it,
see, but that's the way things is being done now. I mean, more people are doing
media, all of the digital mainstreams, and
exactly,
all the outlets, CD Baby,
all
Amazon,
these youngsters,
iTunes.
All these youngsters that I know of that's coming up in the game, they're all wanting to stay independent. YG, you know, all these other, they don't even want to go to a label. They feel like they're gonna lose money.
Sometimes they don't furnish.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really look at it, you know, you look at the history, labels have always been fucking the artists.
Right.
You know,
right.
I mean, they help create, you know, get the artists out there, you know, publish them, get them out there. But as far as music-wise, they don't help with the talent. You know, you come in the game with the talent. You know.
Okay.
That's where it used to be artist development or A&Rs.
Development deals.
Back in the game.
Yeah.
But you know, these days, what can we make off of the imagery? You know.
What can we take from you now?
Yeah. What can we just work off you, come up off you real quick?
Right. Okay. Well, you got this new album, Compton Music, and that was released. When was it released?
We just released that. What month was that? June? Yeah, last year of June.
Okay.
2014.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what does Second to None have planned for the near future? What do you guys have planned for the future?
More music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
more music.
With some substances.
More music.
Soul feeling fun.
Yeah.
West Coast.
That's definitely one thing that I've always appreciated about your guys' music as opposed to others. A lot more melodic, and it's just something, you know, you can lean to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
it's second to none music.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, just like back in the days, you had to be creative, you had to be different to stand out. Now, you know, and it's not to knock nothing new, but now anybody can sound the same. You know, you jumping on the same format.
Right.
So that's the difference versus from when we came in. Yeah.
Yeah. What view do you have on the way that hip hop has taken a turn now? It's kind of taken a turn. It's brought on another life of its own. Like, how do y'all feel about the way that hip hop has turned out and where it's at right now? The life of hip hop right now.
Well, just like I said, you know, they don't let artists be artists. You know, everybody sound the same. You know, and
it's not an artist game. There's no artistry to it. It's a system. It's a systematic way of doing things.
There you go.
Well, that's pretty much what it is.
Well, I mean, you see a lot of a lot of these new artists that's just coming out. I mean, they're like Disney. They got Disney kids.
That's exactly what it is.
That's just taking over. You know,
let's get 3 girls and 3 boys from Disney.
Yeah.
We're gonna recruit them.
Yeah.
You gonna be the street guy, and you're gonna be the preppy guy. You're gonna be the down-to-earth street girl, and you're gonna be you're gonna be the rough, tough one.
Right.
Let's groom him that way, and put a record behind him and a video behind her, and throw him out there and let's see what happens.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I see.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
And a lot of the content. There's no content, in my opinion. The content that really came with your guys' era, it's not there no more. Substance content.
It's all good.
Yeah, but it is what it is, and you know, hip hop's got to recreate itself and get back to where it needs to be. But at a minimum, I appreciate you guys coming on the show.
Yeah, everybody need to know just you can never compromise the real. That's what I do now.
All right, so thanks for tuning in to Down to Earth with Day King. It's definitely a pleasure having Second to None on the show. And make sure you tune in next week, because you know I'm going to have another guest on my show, and you know it's going to be hot. Yahoo!